Hello and welcome everyone to another episode of Down and Dirty. And today I have with me Dhruhi Jain. You are an early stage HR professional. In fact, you are 10 months into your first job. You've had apprenticeships before, right? And internships before. So I'm very interested to learn about how at this stage of your career, you're finding utility in ChatGPT. You know, what works, what doesn't work. And we'll get into all of that stuff. But right now you're with Zecrouters Job Connect, right?
Exactly.
Like that's where you're right now. So, Dhruhi, welcome to the show. And do you want to start us off by telling us maybe a little bit about how you got into HR?
Okay, fair enough. So yeah, Dhruhi Jain this side. Maybe most of the people are not aware of me, but yeah, Dhruhi Jain. And yeah, I started my journey when I wasn't just 19 years old. I started as an HR that time. And yeah, I'm from the commerce background and I jumped into the IT background. Fortunately, because of the lockdown, I jumped into the IT background. I started my journey with some of the corporate companies as an intern, but now I'm in the consultancy. I tell you, if you are in a HR industry from the consultancy, it's quite a pressure, it's quite a hectic journey. But yeah, it's quite interesting because in the starting of your year, you will gain a lot of knowledge from there. So
Hmm.
yeah, and yeah, I'm using quite like last from 4 or 5 months, I'm using ChatGPT as well in my journey, and yeah, here it is. I am
Okay,
going.
great.
And recently, I started my own company as a co-founder, and the company name is MightyMorse. We are into AR, VR, and MR, which is new to India right now.
Yes.
So yeah, here it
Very
is.
cool. So you have your plate full with your full-time job as well as your own founder's journey, right?
Exactly.
Tell me, what does at Zecrouters, what does your day-to-day look like from the time you actually, log into work, whether it's formally, I don't know whether you work from home or not. Can you just take us through what it's like to be with them now for the last 10 months?
Okay. Initially, I was not doing work from home.
Hmm.
I was there in the Bombay. I was doing my stuff from the company, and yeah, it's
Hmm.
quite hectic when you are doing stuff from your company when it is on
Right.
site. But now I'm doing work from home. Last
Okay.
last from 2 to 3 months, I'm doing work from home. And yeah, how my day starts like just wake up and look into the mails. This is how my day starts. And you
Okay.
know, when you are a recruiter, because I had started my journey as a recruiter, slightly by slightly, I'm purely going into the HR part. But I started my journey as a recruiter. And when you are a recruiter, and when you are from the consultancy, you are not dealing with one company. You are dealing with a lot of companies, right? And when you are dealing with a lot of companies, lot of profiles, lot of candidates, and lot of emails, right? And you
Right.
know, lot of back-to-back calls of your clients and your candidates. So yeah, I used to start my day like that, with back-to-back calls, back-to-back emails, and you have to revert 1,000 emails in a day maybe. And
Wow.
yeah, and I have to figure out how I'll gonna revert to this email in a day.
Right, right. So, okay, so would you say 50% of your day is emails, 50% are calls? Is that generally what a normal day looks like for you?
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So you're basically behind your laptop, you're either looking at emails, responding to them, or you're taking calls. You mentioned these are client calls, so maybe they're asking for some follow-ups regarding some recruitment needs of theirs. When it comes to emails, what are the types of emails that you have to engage with?
Generally, it's all about feedbacks. When we'll get the feedback, how delayed will be, what is the update on my profile, and it become very hectic for us to provide them update that whether they are shortlisted, and more
Hmm.
hectic when they are rejected, because they're gonna ask for the reason why we are rejected, and
Yes.
otherwise they're gonna call me out that why I'm getting rejected, right? So this is how it is. Like we have to deal with all this stuff.
So your emails are largely, it seems, from employees, potential employees, people who are applying, candidates who are applying for these positions, and then your calls are with the employers,
Yeah.
right? Is that generally how your email and your calls are?
Exactly. It is generally how it is. And sometimes it is depend upon the client as well. Generally, like most of the part of my emails, like 70% of part of my email are from the employees and employers.
Hmm.
But 30% is from the client as well when we are getting delayed of some profiles, and when we are stuck in between about some like communication about documentation process of my employee. So somewhere I have to engage with the client, but it is what I prefer is connecting with the client on email instead of connect with the client on calls.
Right,
It is
right.
much more better than everything. So
And
yeah,
why is that? Why do you prefer it over calls?
because sometimes when I used to write the email, I have to write in my sense, but I'm not getting what they wanted to like revert on that, right? Then when I get reward of that, I have to think in my process. Then I have to make it become very lengthy for me, right? And when I wanted to sort that thing in a one day, it became very lengthy. So I have to wait for that mail to get like, okay, like maybe tomorrow I'll get a reward on that, right? So it became very lengthy for me. So I prefer calls much more than.
You prefer calls. I see. Yes, you prefer calls over emails. That makes sense. It's a much faster process to get something resolved. So when you right now you said, okay, you're getting, if 30% are clients and 70% are candidates. So right now, okay, not right now. Before ChatGPT came into your life, how were you managing your time? Like, are you giving feedback to people, or are you deflecting that and saying, sorry, it's not in our hands, we're only a consultancy? Like, how are you actually managing the demand for feedback?
Yeah. Actually, before it was quite difficult, frankly.
Mm.
And when a person gets shortlisted, it's quite easy because you have to revert 2 or 3 people, right? When a person gets rejected, it quite become difficult because you are hiring in a bulk and you have to reply to 15 or 20 people in the same time. So it become very difficult for us. And when we have to release the offer letter and when we are hiring in a bulk, sometimes for some niche profiles we have to hiring in a bulk, right? And when we are hiring in a bulk and it's our responsibility to release that offer letter, I have to mention, okay, for this guy I have to mention this salary, for this guy that will be the designation, and for that I have to take like maybe a week, because I have to make those people to be understand their offer letter in such a manner, right? So yeah, it was quite difficult for me, but when ChatGPT came, it became so easy because what you have to do, the format will be the same. You have to just change the name. You have to just change the salary pattern. That's it. The
So why
format will
couldn't
be.
you got it? So Dhruvi, why wouldn't you do this before? Like, why couldn't you have created one template? Even before ChatGPT came, and you use the same thing and change the name out and just say, sorry, thank you for applying, and blah 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 blah. Like, why couldn't you have done this before, or were
Yeah.
you
Actually, what happened? No, like every person having a different kind of interview. Okay,
doing?
every feedback depends. Not for every person I can give a same feedback. Otherwise, they're gonna call me up and they're like, okay, I was good in the technical round. What about the communication part? You had mentioned communication part, right? So this is how it will be because the feedback depend upon person to person.
Okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay, okay. And then, of course, we're going to get into ChatGPT in terms of how that is helping you, because it's still person to person. So I want to know how ChatGPT is making your life easier. But okay, before that, however, fine. So you have it sounds like a really hectic day. You have your work cut out for you. You're working with multiple clients. This is your first job, 10 months in, and it seems like you're thrown into the deep end. You're handling feedback requests and requirements, and you're also handling client calls. So you have your plate full. So, in the last 10 months of doing this, what has been the most rewarding part of your work?
It's not about the rewarding part, yeah, but it's like, yeah, somewhere I had, somewhere I didn't had that because, as I mentioned, I had done some internships. So I was doing internship in a corporate field where it was purely into the IT only, where I was doing internship. So there I understand how they deal with consultancies. So I know how my client will gonna deal with me. So yeah, I'm not facing that much of issues, but yeah, it became an issue when you have to handle the amples of client in a one go. So yeah.
Got it. And where have you struggled the most so far in your work as an HR professional?
So it's about reverting the mails.
Okay, okay. So just the workload of
Exactly.
responding to emails
Exactly.
has been
Because
stressful.
you became the answerable person to each and everyone. As you are a recruiter, you are an answerable person to each and everyone, whether it is your client or whether it is your candidate. It become very hectic part when you have to answer their each and every question.
Got it, got it. And do you make it a point? Are you answering everyone's email, or are you answering only a select few?
No, it depends. Like if, as I mentioned, we have to. If a person is suppose are having an opening for a particular profile, okay, and if person is not sending me that profile, if a person is sending me different profile, well, I'll gonna revert that, right? So yeah, I'm not morely answering to each and every mail, but I'm answering the mail which are relevant to my stuff.
Yes, of course. Yes. Okay. All right. And tell me about the emotional impact of what you're doing, because it's one thing to say, yes, I have to sit on the computer, I have to type letters, and I have to revert. But there's also, you're dealing with people at the end of the day who want jobs, who are stressed out, who are angry, upset. Let's say they don't get a job.
Yeah.
How are you handling that? What has that experience been like for you?
Yeah, that is quite like I can say when you have to deal with the emotional part of a person, it become very quite hectic and quite responsible part as well, because you
Mm,
have to deal with all those people who are not getting job last from 10 months. Sometimes it happened. You have to deal with all those people who are not getting job, and you have to deal with all those people as well who are getting offers but
mm.
making you fool, right?
Oh, all
Yeah,
right.
so you have to deal with all those people, and yeah, like how it is, how I am dealing with that. Yeah, because see, we are human beings. We have to
Yeah,
somewhere make them understand, and we have to show them track. And some
yeah,
people who are not getting offer last from 10 months, not doing job. Sometimes I used to show them track that yeah, this is the track you have to follow. Because we being an HR, we know what are the tracks a person should follow,
yeah, yeah.
right? And sometimes we used to suggest them that yeah, you have to mention that in your resume so that it can become more attractive to HR and it's gonna revert you in a one go.
Right,
So
right.
yeah, this is how we are handling. And sometimes it used to happen, we used to get the sense that that person is maybe saying yes to me, that he's gonna select that off get that offer and accept that offer, but he'll not gonna accept that offer.
Mhm.
So we have to deal with all those people, and we need to keep that in mind. Yeah, I have to look for another candidate now. I can't
Right.
stuck on him.
So a lot of this is also instinct, right? That you're getting better and better at it. Obviously, the more you do it, the more you're able to sense some things even beyond face value,
Yeah.
right? So okay, all right. So let's talk about ChatGPT. So for your very 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 full life, you came across ChatGPT when? Do you remember when you first heard about it or tried it out?
If I say heard about it, I heard about it so long. I guess maybe I was in the graduation part of mine. I heard about that time,
When
but
was that?
I done my graduation last like in April only,
This April.
2023. Yeah.
23. Okay, fine. So you heard about it this year. All right.
Yeah, I heard about it this year only. Like not this year, maybe in the December only I heard about it.
Okay, fine. Hmm.
But from January, I started to using it because I know like for an HR using a chat GPT, it's quite beneficial somewhere.
Got
So
it.
yeah, I had attended some seminars and all webinars about the chat GPT. I was like, okay, let's use it. Let's try it, how it can benefit me.
Yeah,
And yeah,
got
now
it.
I'm using it.
So before using ChatGPT, were you using any other software to help you in your work?
No, as I'm from like last 10 months, I'm in this industry, so I'm not using any kind of software. But yeah, now I'm using ChatGPT.
Yeah, okay. So ChatGPT is the thing that you're using right now to help you do what you do, correct?
Yeah,
Okay. And
and
so you go
merely
ahead.
from like Google. We used to before we used to Google it, right? That yeah,
Yeah,
what is happening, and that time I was like, yeah, okay, if one profile came to me and I'm not aware of that profile, I have to Google it, right? Because it was initial days of my career. But
yes.
now I am having a chat GPT where I have to just mention it. This is the profile. What are the keywords? That chat GPT will gonna automatically give me the keywords, right? So this is how chat GPT is helping me in the recruitment industry. I can say chat GPT is helping us a lot.
A lot. Okay, okay, I see. So, okay, you came across it, you started using it in Jan, you said, of this year itself. And uh, when you first gave it a shot, you attended some seminars in order to learn more about how to use it. Do you remember some of those seminars? Like, what resources did you fall back on in order to discover what ChatGPT can do for you?
Yeah. So that time in a seminar, when I was initially I had attended that seminar, I was just attending it just to look how AI used to work. Okay, because already I was initially I was there in my career. It's been just 2 or 3 months I was there in career, and I was never thought of that I'm gonna use AI. I was just focusing upon myself, how I have to be like inner Dhruhi.
Mhm.
So then I just scrolling and I was like, okay, let's attend the AI seminar. When I was attending the seminar, I get to know, okay, this is how you can use the ChatGPT. And what was my first shot? I was just typing one thing that how HR profile looks like on LinkedIn. And that was my first shot.
Okay, okay. So what should an HR profile look like on LinkedIn was the prompt, something like that was the prompt that you gave.
Yeah, exactly.
And then what did you, when you got a response back, what did you think?
Frankly, when I was initial days of my career, my LinkedIn profile was not that good. Even though
Mm.
now my LinkedIn profile is quite premium, but that time it was not that good. But from ChatGPT, I get to know, okay, you have to update your profile, whatever we can say that update section where we have to talk about ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, that section you have to update that. That time I get to know. Like, okay, let's do it right now and let's update there. And like whatever you can mention, you have to mention. And that points I remember from the chat GPT, yeah, I have to mention these and these points. Not about your graduation, you have to mention what you are doing right now. And that time, what I was used to mention my graduation part, not about what I am doing right now. So that thing I
Right.
get from ChatGPT.
So you were instantly able to get help from ChatGPT and apply it because it gave you some ideas, some suggestions. You went on to LinkedIn and you went ahead and did it, right?
Exactly.
What would you remember the webinar that you attended, the AI webinar? Which was it a person? Was it an institute? Was it through a platform like Coursera, Udemy? Where was it?
As of now, I don't remember the webinar, but it was just like I think there was two people. It was held by them, and it was just about something else they were talking about. They were relating from a Chat GPT. It was
Got
something
it,
like
got it,
or something.
got it. And where did
They
you
were
learn about it? This webinar, the webinar to teach you about it. How did you come across it?
from LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a
From LinkedIn.
best platform and like what I
Oh,
consider LinkedIn is the best platform where you just wanted to talk about webinars, where you wanted to talk about seminars, and where you wanted to talk about podcast. So
right.
LinkedIn is a platform where you'll get to know each and everything. And like on LinkedIn, sometimes we have to find out. I'm free right now, whether I have to look what is the webinar is like right? But on
Mm.
LinkedIn, we're not given LinkedIn will gonna give us notification about that this is the webinar is going live, right? So we can attend it right away.
Got it. Understood. Okay. So you're someone who you have your email open, but it seems like you also have LinkedIn open because that is a space where you are keeping your profile up to date, attending webinars, right? Like getting notifications that's happening on LinkedIn. Okay. All right. So you got into ChatGPT, loved what it threw up to you, like around, updating your LinkedIn profile. You said, great, I'm going to keep working on it, keep giving it a shot. So now let's talk about it. You are inundated with emails and you are thinking to yourself, I want to use this amazing new tool and make my life easier. How does ChatGPT make your life easier today?
Okay, so if I talk about chat gpt making my life easier, let's
Yeah.
talk about email only. Okay,
Yes, let's do
so
it.
yeah, what I used to do is like if I am putting any mail, okay, if I am just for an example, um I'm going to make a mail for the people who are getting rejected. Okay, and
Okay.
this is the reason of getting rejected. Okay, I just command to ChatGPT that this is the name of a guy, and he's from this organization. He's going to he's getting rejected because of such a such reason. Okay, ChatGPT will gonna give me output with the format. Now I'm having a name of a person and I'm having a feedback as well. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take it from there. I have just maybe sometimes I have to like update it a little bit, or maybe sometimes not, because ChatGPT somewhere want updation as well. You
Of
can't like
course.
make, yeah. So because you can't look at like, yeah, that is from the ChatGPT,
Mm,
right? So you
of
have
course.
to make it updation as well. And when I have to look for the another guy for the same feedback and for the same name and for the same organization, maybe not from a different organization, on that chat only, on that sorry command only, I gonna tell to ChatGPT, make it correct. Now the name is this and the organization is this, and the format will be the same. ChatGPT will gonna revert me on the same time with the same
Got
format.
got it. So help me understand something, because this is something I'm learning about from you. So I understand it creates a template. It has the name. You can copy paste, make a few modifications so it feels sounds like you, and you send it out. And now there's this other candidate who is being rejected on the same or similar grounds, and you just tell it to change the name, keep everything the same. So now my thought to you is, my question to you is, uh, why couldn't you do this without ChatGPT? Which means if you, of course, creating the template once will take time. You're right? You have to take a longer. But were you using, I guess, let me rephrase the question. Were you using templates before where you say it's the same format, it's 5 people who are being rejected for the same type of thing? तो मैं एक template बनाती हूँ and I'll change the name out and send it. Were you doing anything like this before?
It is quite easy to do that, but sometimes depends upon organization. Like I told you, I'm from the
Yes.
consultancy, so it
Yes.
depends upon organization to organization. I can't make 1,000 of template, because we used to deal with not with a one client. We used to deal with 13 or 14 clients in a day, right? So
Hmm.
I can't make these all template. I can't look into each and every template. And
Got it.
simultaneously for 13 like companies, 13 maybe people are getting rejected.
Hmm. So
So
then would you say then in ChatGPT, when you use it, it's you're able to generate new content very fast, which means
exactly.
it's less about the templates, because like you said, if you're working with 13 people, you may not be able to use the same. One is pharma and the other one is edtech, let's say, right?
Yeah.
So you can't use the same template. Matlab in ChatGPT, what you're using it for is not only templates and saying swap the name out, but also different industry
Yeah.
outputs.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So this is one thing where you said, okay, I'll create one and then say, please change the name out, keep everything the same. Okay. Any other examples of where you or how you're using ChatGPT?
Another example is like, yeah, sometimes in a recruitment industry, what it used to happen, we used to like, I'll tell you about freshers who are
Okay.
joining the recruitment industry. Sometimes they are not aware of the keywords to use in an recruiter portal. If you are aware
Okay.
of recruiter portal, that is like Naukri we are having, Monster we are having, right?
Post jobs, right?
Yeah,
A portal to
post job.
post jobs. Yes.
Yeah, it's not about post job as well. We have to find the CVs as well. We have to find
Got
the
it.
candidates.
Okay.
Yeah, so that used to happen in this kind of platforms, Naukri, Shine, Monster. Okay, sometimes, not sometimes, every time we have to put some keywords related to that industry. Okay, and as a fresher, sometimes people are not aware of those keywords, because I remember when I was fresher, I got one profile of SAP. Okay, SAP HR. And that time I was aware of SAP, but I was not aware of what is SAP HR looks like.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So that time, like in the month of January, February, I guess, I was just putting it on ChatGPT, SAP HR profile keywords. And it was giving me keywords for the Naukri portal, so that I can use it in the Naukri portal and I can find the candidates, very relevant candidates, I can say.
So you were happy with the quality that you could get out of the suggestions that ChatGPT gave you on keywords.
Yeah, exactly. I'm
Got it.
quite
Okay.
happy with that.
Okay, that's great. So let's do a share screen and let's see, however you want to take us through it. You want to do something live or you want to show us something that you've done. I'll leave it up to you.
Okay, let me do that. I hope you can see that, Tapsi.
1 second. It hasn't loaded yet. Yes, I can.
Okay, fair enough. So let's do it. Assume that a person is from BFSI industry. Okay, it's
Okay.
not aware of what is zonal head.
Okay.
Okay, because a zonal head is one of the lead profile, topmost level of profile, and a fresher is not aware of what is zonal head. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is for let's say okay. So this is how it is showing me the keywords. See, customer centric approach, leadership skills, cross-platform collaboration, strategic planning. And these are all are keywords we can see in candidates' CV, right? Zonal head, real estate, sales and marketing. See, I didn't mention sales and marketing, but
Yeah.
ChatGPT is aware of that zonal head is from sales and marketing, right?
Got it.
These keyword maybe fresher is not aware of that how zonal head is, how zonal head looks like,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
whether
Yeah.
he or she is from sales marketing department or not. So this is how ChatGPT is giving us keywords, and these kind of keywords we can use.
Got it. So let's say you got this, and then what would you do with this information? So you received this, and then now what?
So now what we can do is we can open Naukri portal. Okay. We can mention all these keywords in the Naukri portal, and we're gonna see what we can do is we can highlight this keyword like zonal head, because I'm finding for a zonal head. I'm finding for a real estate company zonal head. So I'm gonna like highlight these kind of keywords, and I'm gonna find out the CVs. Okay. When I'm gonna put this keyword, I'm gonna find out, I'm gonna find the relevant CVs, because these keywords are very related to the zonal head keywords. Likewise, if I'm from the IT industry, I'm a Java developer. Okay, so I'm gonna put Java, C++, okay, C, JavaScript, this kind of keywords I'm gonna use in my technical skills, right? And if I'm putting that keywords in the Naukri portal, I'll get the relevant CVs according to that.
Right, right. Okay, and let's say you put this in, and if you weren't really happy with the output, or let's say it's still very broad, right? What else would you do with ChatGPT to make the search tighter or more relevant?
I'm just making it my friend, and let's make it short.
Okay.
See,
Hmm.
this is how I used to work with ChatGPT.
Okay, this is helpful. Okay, understood. Okay. All right. So this is keywords related. What's another thing that you can give us an example of that you may have used?
Okay, fair enough. Let's talk about. Okay, let me open a new chat now. Let's talk about. We're gonna form a offer letter for a candidate. Okay, and with blah blah or salary. Okay, and he have to attain that organization, like he have to join the organization from that day. We're gonna make an offer letter, and simultaneously we're gonna make an offer letter for another kind of industry as well. This is gonna make for IT industry, and simultaneously I'm gonna make it for the finance industry. Okay. This is my offer letter looks like.
And
I
so
just
what would you do with this? Now that would you copy paste it? You said you may tweak it. What would you look at here?
Okay, so as of now, I'm not gonna copy paste it because we never use this kind of things in in our offer letter. We used to start with congratulations, greetings, and stuff,
Okay.
right? And yeah, I'm gonna use these because yeah, it's kind of prompt because I'm having a proper basic salary structure over here, employment type, reporting
Mm-hmm.
timing, and each and everything. I'm having everything very specified. So I'm gonna use these. Maybe I'm not going to use the job description part because that already been told to like my candidate in the interview. So I'm not going to use the job description part. Instead of that, I'm going to use the responsibilities. What are the responsibilities they are going to taking care of? Compensation and benefits. Yeah, here the ChatGPT has given us like in a specified manner what are the compensation and the benefits. And yeah, if I'm not giving a health insurance coverage, I'm not going to use it
Correct,
obviously.
correct.
Yeah,
Yes.
and, employment conditions. Yeah, it depends upon as I said, it depends upon company to company. Okay, for an example, I had given you before also that example that if I'm not working with the IT company, the different kind of documentation process, different kind of conditions they have. Okay,
Yeah.
so yeah, here I can change my, see, I can mention it again in a chat GPT that I have to change my employment conditions part. So let's put it like, okay, now it is
Wow.
totally changed.
Yeah, this is amazing.
Yeah. So it is giving us now ND as well. It is telling us not to share the password.
Yeah, yeah,
Data protection is all like
yeah.
here. So this is how it works. Chat GPT is quite helpful.
Got it. Yes, absolutely. I can see that. Okay, so let's stop the share screen now. And I wanted to ask you, is there anything that you don't find it helpful in, or where you would not use ChatGPT as part of your day-to-day work?
Yeah. I'll probably not gonna use ChatGPT when I'm talking to my manager
Yeah.
because my manager will get to know, right? And sometimes
Ah,
people use it
hmm.
is happening in social media platform when people are not able to see you, they are using ChatGPT and you're not being able to understand that, right? But my manager will get to know. So I'm not gonna use ChatGPT when I'm talking to a person who is aware of me, who
So when you
know.
say talking, what do you mean by talking? Chatting with your manager or emailing your manager? What do you mean by that?
Most probably emailing with my manager because my
Okay.
manager know how I used to work, where I'm working, right? So I'm not gonna use ChatGPT by emailing to my manager, right?
Got it, got it. Because that person would know, your manager might know that you actually put this into ChatGPT and written a very nice, tight email. Okay, all right, fair enough. Any other place where you think you might not use it?
Let's talk about in like when I have to make person. Sometimes it's used to happen when we are putting any rejection mail to some candidates and they are reverting me back that I want a proper feedback on my profile where I was lacking. If you can help me out, that time I'm not gonna use ChatGPT because ChatGPT will gonna tell me the things which are not, maybe not specified and which are quite logical, right? But I have to bind that person in an emotional manner too. So I'm not gonna use ChatGPT at that time. Maybe I'm gonna use my mind and my emotionalness, and I'm gonna put that things in that email in such a manner that a person get consoled and also get a direction to work upon.
Okay, that actually makes a lot of sense. That for a lot of personalization or emails that require, more personalization, that you would write that on your own. Okay, Dhruvi, this was fantastic. My gosh, I got a glimpse into how you work and how you use ChatGPT, and I want to thank you so much for taking the time to share this, because I
Thank you
know
so
anyone else who's starting in this position, let's say, they might look at your suggestions and your ideas and your use cases and think, wow, I never thought of using it that way, and this is how I might give it a shot. So yeah, have a wonderful Saturday, and thanks for taking the time out. You should be relaxing on a Saturday afternoon, but here you are doing a podcast with me, and
much.
I wish you well.
I get to wish you well, and yeah, you're handling with a lot of rain right now, I guess. So
Yes,
yeah, wish you well with the rain now.
Thank you. Yes, we should all try to stay as dry as possible.
Yeah, because
All
now
right.
like weather is quite not helpful but quite drastic for us. So we have to handle this.
Definitely. Definitely. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much, Tapsi, having me here. It's been a great like conversation with you, where I get to know about myself, what I am doing. Sometimes we never used to understand what we are doing because we are not that much free to analyze sometimes that what we are doing in our day-to-day life. But through your podcast, I get to know, okay, I'm doing that much of stuff, and I get to know that much in that 10 months of journey, right?
Yes.
So
Yes, exactly. That is why this was so great, because there's so much that you've learned already in 10 months and you're continuing to learn in order to do your job better. So that's fantastic. Thanks again.
thank you so much, Tapsi. Have a nice
Bye.
day.
Then. You too. Bye.
Bye.